Hello, Swear Nation. Man, hey, I'm Brandon Swear, and this is the Swear Word. I'm so happy to have all y'all here. This is a podcast for the Chilihead community, by the Chilihead community. Regardless of your spice tolerance, this is the place for you. Man, we have a phenomenal show up here tonight. I have three salsas. There we go. On Hot or Not tonight. So I hope you brought your tortilla chips because it's going to be a fun one, as well as an amazing guest and a game planned as well. So, hey, episode 41 starts now. Welcome on in. Man, it is going to be an amazing show tonight. I can already tell you that. I see the chats popping off, having some fun. Glad to have y'all here. Hey, this is a reminder. This is a live show, so jump on in the chat. Be a part of the show. Hey, if you got questions for our guests tonight, feel free to go ahead and shoot those in, and we'll get those asked as well. And hey, we have 3 salsas here tonight that we will be diving into, all of which should be phenomenal for those that are already heat seekers and those that are, just trying to figure out where they can get in to fit in. So, man, this is going to be a tasty episode. I got the tortilla chips off to the side and I got the salsa over here. I'm amped. But hey, we also have a phenomenal grower, highly requested grower, and he was nominated in the hot seat by another amazing guest as well. So can't wait to dive in and have some great conversations with Mr. HaHa. So definitely looking forward to that, as well as we have Keep 5, Cut 5 back on the lineup. So jump in, be a part of that game, play along, have fun. But hey, we are trying to grow the channel here on YouTube, and share this with other like-minded chili heads. We're continuing to grow, and I'm very thankful for everyone that's here and everyone that's engaging. But let's continue the momentum. So hey, episode. All right, welcome into Hot or Not. Man, it is going to be a tasty one, I can tell you that. So for all those that are watching right now and active in the chat, your salsas that you're using now, we're going to see how, if you're using these salsas, cool, let us know. If you're not, these are going to be some solid ones for you to take a look at. So first up, what we're going to do is we're going to check out Vato Blanco, and we are going to take a look at their 5 chili salsa. This one in particular is their hot. So they have a hot, they have a mild, and they have a medium. So, man, this is going to be great, but let's go ahead and get this one opened up. The beauty of this overall sound is about to grace everyone's ears, because I know it's one of those sounds that I hear it in the home and I know fun is about to happen. So here you go. Opening up the Vato Blanco 5 chili salsa.
Hold on one sec. We got a camera down, so I'm bringing it back online.
Oh,
trying to figure out what's going on.
Looks like the camera went out real quick. Let's get that fixed. That way everyone gets the full experience. Shout out to Conjured Vapors Peppers for being the first in the chat tonight. Miguel right behind him. Tom Broom. Sip. Man, y'all are crushing it. Appreciate y'all. It's looking like. Oh, I saw some movement on the monitor there. Yes, Miguel, we are in the process of getting that resolved right now. It looks like a cable got snagged, so no worries. There we go. All right, we're back in action. So once again, this is the Vato Blanco's 5 chili salsa. So here we go. This beautiful sound. Oh yeah, that's the money right there. All right. So, hey, this is, like I said, they're hot. They have a medium and a mild. So definitely we'll have everything linked down below for the direct links for this one, as well as you can check out their other salsas if hot is not fully in the cards for you. But let's get in here and get a healthy scoop. Love the smell. The aroma is very refreshing. You know, you're getting a lot of the peppers, a lot of the onions right off the bat. The aroma is just, it's dancing on the nostrils. Phenomenal job here. Man, it has that nice restaurant style cut to the overall salsa itself. So it's not too small. It's not too big. It's just that perfect scoop. So here we go. I could just drink that. It's so good. It has that amazing, savory, sweet, complex right off the bat. It just melds beautifully. I mean, you get that smoky, that savory note. You're getting a lot of the onion. You're getting the overall pepper forward notes that are coming through. Man, I got to get a little bit more of this real quick. Can't just jump on to the next thing. Let's get a little bit more. It's a salsa episode. Man. All right. Let's do this. Let's let producer Jeff get some here while we're getting some stuff put in as well. All right. So while I get that pulled up, here we go. Heat. Let's talk about it. So overall heat, while this is a hot, we will get producer Jeff's input here as well, just to make sure that, you know, I'm not misspeaking here. But while that is hot rated, I think that is a phenomenal balance between the overall flavor profile that's coming through and nice touch of heat. The heat really does, you know, it kind of comes on pretty gentle at the very beginning, but then really starts to be noticeable as it goes. However, if you're brand new, I don't think that you're really going to get burned down too bad on that one. If you are and you're worried about that, they have the mild, they have the medium, jump on in there. But heat, definitely friendly for those that are starting out, and definitely friendly for chili heads that are just, you know, wanting something amazing, because that drives it home. Let's go ahead and get that one in here. And then aroma, we talked about that. So I'm going to go ahead and put down my aroma score. Flavor, we talked about that briefly as well. All right, versatility. Keeping this here because it's still relevant for a salsa. Is this salsa something that you can use with chips? Is this salsa that you can use with, you know, the overall, you know, dish that you're having? Are you able to put this with tacos? Are you able to put this with, you name it. Yes, and yes. My only thing is I'm pretty sure I'm going to eat through this by the end of the night. If not, it'll, you know, not survive tomorrow. So, with that being said, versatility, I would definitely rate that one nice and high. And then burn. So overall, the burn that you're getting, you know, you're getting a little bit of a tingle on the lips, and that's about it. The, you know, mid-mouth area kind of gets a little bit of a tingle, but nothing too crazy. It's mostly just centralized on the lips. But all in all, phenomenal salsa that you cannot go wrong with. So, while that's input, we will go ahead and read off some ingredients here. This is called the 5 chili salsa for a reason. And just so that we're fully aware, another thing that I was really digging about this one, so I got to meet them I got to meet him at Zest Fest, and really got to talk about, you know, overall passion and everything that kind of goes into his salsa, because it really speaks for itself. But one of the things is obviously focusing on the non-GMO, the preservative-free, the low-fat, the low sodium, and no sugar added. Like I mean, I personally feel like sugar should not be added to a salsa. You should find natural alternatives that bring a sweet note to it. So just my personal preference, but and he's doing it. So here we go. Ingredients. We have tomatoes, and then tomatoes here. Sorry, I'm trying to read it. And there we go. Onions, chipotle peppers, and then vinegar, onions, which I just read. Okay. And then lime juice, garlic, and serrano, cilantro, apple cider vinegar, salt, spices, and anchovy peppers. And this also has habanero. Sorry, I skipped over that. So let me try that again without jumping all the way around. So tomatoes, and then water, vinegar, onions, jalapeno peppers, lime juice, garlic, serrano peppers, cilantro, apple cider vinegar, habanero, salt, spices, and ancho peppers. So phenomenal salsa. Highly recommend checking that out. And let's go and get this one rattled off. So coming in at heat at 2.5. The aroma coming in at 4.4. The flavor coming in at 4.4. Versatility coming in at a 4. And burn at a 2.5 for a total swear word rating of a 3.56. Man, phenomenal stuff. Like I said, if you're starting out or you're a chili head, this is definitely one that you're going to want to jump into. And he's crushing it, knocking it out of the park. Links for that will be down below. Now, we got two very fun ones from Tio Marcos. So this is the prickly pear that we're going to be jumping into next. And here we go. Here's the first. Here, let me get a good shake on. I forgot to shake the other one. Oh, yeah. That's satisfying sound. Lets you know fun is about to commence. So here we go. Got a good scoop here. No, I can't just do this once. I got to get another one. All right. Oh, absolutely amazing. Prickly pear. If you've never had it before, is phenomenal. Missing out. So the prickly pear itself is going to provide a very nice touch of sweetness to this overall salsa, but not in a bad, very just candy kind of sweet way. We'll let producer Jeff get in there too. I just closed that up. Look at me being inconsiderate. But overall, the flavor profile as you're getting into this, it's got this nice sweetness that kind of comes in there, that fresh flavor that comes through next. And then from there, it really transitions into the onion, into the tomato, and you're just picking up a nice little kiss of the peppers. And it is phenomenal, well-balanced, and definitely a tasty one. I could see myself utilizing this heavily on my dishes as well as, you know, obviously eating it straight like this. But enchiladas, tacos, man, it's pretty endless what I would use on this, but definitely breakfast burritos are going to be happening with that thing. So let's go ahead and talk about heat. Heat on this one, it's going to be very forgiving. Absolutely something that if you're brand new starting out, you could jump in. This isn't going to burn you down. It's going to be a phenomenal balance between the overall flavor and the heat, and you're going to just have the best times, you know, being able to enjoy this. So let's go ahead and jot down heat and then aroma. You know what? I smelt it, but I didn't really talk on it. Okay. So you're picking up a touch of the sweetness from the prickly pear. Prickly pear has a very distinct taste and very distinct smell. So you're picking up that. You're picking up the freshness to the overall body, and as that note comes in, you're getting a little bit of a lemon, lime, something like that, like a more citrusy aspect to the overall salsa. So phenomenal job there, and let's get that jotted down. All right, flavor. Flavor on this. Once again, if you like prickly pear, you're definitely going to love this. If you've never tried prickly pear, you need to. It's very distinct. Like Producer Jeff, what would you say?
Let's see here. I've never used my headset on the show before. I don't know if I'm being broadcast. Can they hear me? Let us know in the chat if you can hear Producer Jeff. I'm talking. Got myself unmuted, but
I think you do.
Okay. What was the question?
The flavor.
The prickly pear is a unique flavor, and I haven't tasted it before.
Okay.
So that first one, that Vato Blanco.
Yep.
I remember meeting that guy because I remember the hair.
Yeah.
And that is a really good salsa. That flavor was really, really good. This other one is good, but it's very unique.
Yes.
So you got to know you're in for something that's very different.
Yes. Okay. Very well said. And knowing that he has never had the prickly pear before, I wanted to really get his input, and I'm not certain if that was going through to the broadcast.
They said they can hear me.
Okay, cool.
There we go.
All right,
now
cool. Then we're good.
The disembodied voice is Producer Jeff.
Yep. There we go. Okay. So, well, good. And so everyone that's, hasn't tried it, now you've heard firsthand from somebody else that this was their first time as well trying something that has prickly pear in it. It does have a very unique taste. It's a phenomenal flavor if you like it. And, it's definitely something that I like to seek out. So let's go ahead and jot down all that to derail myself. Sorry. Look at that. All right. Versatility. We did talk about this one, so I'm going to go ahead and, for sake of time, input the score. Burn on this one. Man, this is a lot more forgiving. There's not really much burn-wise going on with this salsa. Once again, just a very minor lip tingle, and that's about it. So let's get that input and read this one off while that's getting in. So here we go. Ingredients: tomatoes, green onion, all natural prickly pear cactus syrup, cilantro, apple cider vinegar, onion, roasted red peppers, water, sea salt, chiltepin peppers, citric acid, rosemary, garlic, black garlic, dehydrated garlic. Oh, well, there we go. So, man, phenomenal job with the overall ingredients, being able to, deliver with really, the prickly pear itself is something to learn how to use and manipulate and have it incorporate into, whether that be a dish or a drink. And it is its own hurdle. So I think they executed very well here, and it is a very tasty salsa. So let's go ahead and get the review done. So here we go. Heat coming up first at 2.2, aroma at 4.3, flavor at 4.3, versatility at a 4, and burn at a 2.2 for a total swear word rating of 0.4. There we go. Amazing stuff. And now, for all those chili heads that are saying, hey, where's something hotter, got you right now. Once again, from Tio Marcos, this is their Superhot. This is their Santa Muerte. This is the Fuego edition, so we're going to be getting into it. Give it a good shake. Once again, I did talk about the one on the very first one, but both the Tio Marcos salsas are as well basically a restaurant style in the overall cut. It's not too thin. It's not too big as far as chunks, and it's not too small. It has a nice consistency, nice flow. This one is going to have a little bit more grab to the overall salsa, just based off of what I'm seeing here. So this will be nice. It'll, hold on to the chip a little bit more, say, than the last one. But, oh man, much more pepper forward, much more onion and garlic forward. let's dive in. Oh, yeah. Get another scoop real quick. No salsa left behind. All right, there we go. Let's talk about it. So right off the bat, you're brand new. You're just starting out. Definitely not the one to just jump into. That overall body, that profile that comes out the second you're biting in, it's that nice smoky tomato vibe going on with the onions and everything's just melding great. And then boom, you get that nice super hot body and taste, and you also get that heat to start ramping up right around the same time. So much more noticeable on the heat on this one, as to be expected. So, the overall, so we talked about heat. Heat-wise, if you're a chili head, this is going to be a nice medium to high medium. So broaching that hot. I would definitely say for most chili heads, they're going to say this is a hot. But for me personally, I would say this is a very hot medium, if you will, like that flirting line. So let me go ahead and jot down the heat on that one. And then aroma. So like I had mentioned, you get a nice overall smoky, savory taste that kind of carries on through this. And you're really getting that nice tomatoey, the onions, the garlic, everything kind of coming through. And then you really start to taste the, super hots that are in here. So let me jot down flavor because I was talking about flavor instead of aroma. We talked about aroma, but the aroma on this thing is phenomenal. Definitely like what they did there. It's not super, while it does have super hots in it, it's not overpowering and just very, super hot forward, pepper forward smell. So executed very well on being able to make it still smell like just, a spicy traditional salsa from the aroma standpoint. So you almost don't know what you're getting into until you're getting into it. Burn wise. So versatility, I can use this just about on anything, and I definitely will be using it on quite a few things. So we'll go ahead and input that. But burn-wise, so right off the bat, you're getting a nice burn that goes towards about the mid-mouth to now, as it kind of sits there and does its thing, it starts to linger and build in the back of the throat. So phenomenal job there. Maybe a touch in the lower part. It's really the lower part of the throat. It's not quite the chest just yet, but overall, phenomenal burn on this salsa. Definitely one. If you're a chili head, pick it up. It's going to be a great addition to your chips and salsa, your burrito night, your taco night, your enchiladas, etc. Quesadillas. You're going to have a blast. And let's get that one on over there. While that's getting input, we'll go ahead and read off these ingredients. So we have diced tomatoes, and then green onions, cilantro, serrano, lime juice, apple cider vinegar, sea salt, dehydrated garlic, chipotle peppers, chiltepin, black pepper, ghost pepper powder, and then we have Carolina Reaper pepper, and then smoked paprika. Man, like I said, very, very savory, very complex. Love what they did there. And let's go ahead and get these right off. All right, here we go. Heat coming in at 3.75. Aroma, 4.3. Flavor at 4.5. Versatility at 4. Burn at 3.8 for a total swear word rating of 4.07. Very, very nice. Hey, I will have the links for everything down below, direct links to all these products, as well as they have some other phenomenal products on both of these companies' pages. Highly recommend checking them out. Amazing people. And hey, let's go ahead and get on over to the interview. Hello, hello, Mr. HaHa. Finally, now we
Hey
get
man,
to
how's
now
it
we get to
going?
meet. Doing good. Man, I have heard so many amazing things about you. I really just can't wait to dive in because I was looking through, your page on Facebook and looking at your grow, and I'm just blown away, absolutely blown away by the
Thank
monster
you. I
peppers.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, and you're crushing it with it looks like fruit trees, peppers. What I guess first and foremost, what all do you grow?
I mean, I grow pretty much everything, since I just moved to this new property. So we used to live in like a little small suburban area. I didn't grow too much, but saying not too much is like 50 to 60 plant of just pepper a year. And now we just moved here in January. I got a whole acre. So before we even started moving in, I started planting fruit trees. So we got jujube, we got pears, figs, peaches, plum, persimmon, pretty much everything, man. Asian pear, you name it. There's about 60 fruit tree that's starting to take off here real soon. And then
Man,
on the pepper side, there's about, I think this year I went kind of nuts. I first started, I told myself I was going to do 100. That's it, and got carried away with starting seeds. So I ended up with about 167. So
wow.
it's, yeah, between that and all the flowers and vegetables, man, I'm just busy.
Oh yeah. No, I can only imagine. At one point now my house, in full disclosure, my house now only has one fruit tree. But when we moved in, I think there was 6 or 7 in total, and it just progressively became the squirrels and everyone else was like getting all these animals were getting to everything before we could get to it, and then everything was just
Yeah,
all over
yeah.
the ground and it became a problem, and then the dog was getting into it. And so that between that and then my youngest 2 children getting a playground, the most recent was whenever we had to remove the what was that, a plum tree. So,
Uh,
but man, to still have a
Yeah,
fig tree
hopefully.
and
I mean, it's probably going to be another year or two until I actually kind of do a fruit harvest. But for now, they're just starting up. I started growing them just from a bare root. So to this point, none of them have died yet. So they're doing good.
there you go. Right, well, and that's the thing is like fruit trees are something that you work really hard to get established initially, and then they just really
Yeah.
kind of they do their own thing. It feels like a little bit of help and goes a long way with them once they're established. But okay, very nice. Now, I want to go ahead and remind everyone because I know this is also often something that I end up remembering to say again. But once again, if y'all have questions, please go ahead and send those in. We'll get those set up to the side and ready to go. But man, all right. So obviously, everyone here is a pepper enthusiast of some shape or form. So definitely
Yeah,
want to
I do
know.
recognize a few names from the chat that popped up,
There we
like
go.
that's rich. Yeah.
Yeah, yep. It looks like we have. I mean, quite a few. I mean, I also see Kang in the chat who nominated you on the hot seat
Okay.
for this. So
Oh, thank you. Matter of fact, after just you talked to me, I just mailed him a big old box of Superhot just earlier today.
very nice,
So
very nice.
yeah, he's gonna have fun with that.
There we go. Well, so what was your jump off point? Like, what got you interested in hot peppers and spicy?
I mean, I've always grown pepper, but just usually like Thai pepper and stuff for cooking. So when I got my own house in 2020 during COVID. So I had a whole property. I was like, man, I got nothing else to do. So I just started going nuts with the pepper. And then ever since 2020, it seems like every year I added on more and more to what I previously had. So yeah. But
Okay.
this year it may be my last big grow. I did a little research on giant pumpkins, so I may try that next year. So who knows?
Hey, that's pretty exciting too. So no shame in that at all. That's been something I've been thinking about for a while. Is just trying to grow some pumpkins just for the sake of like having the kids go out there and harvest and turn it into
Yeah,
a jack-o'-lantern, et cetera. The whole thing, the whole experience to go through. Haven't acted on it yet, but maybe that'll happen this next season. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
yeah.
Okay. Well, so as far as your overall growing methods and experience, I actually had someone that is a good friend of yours actually mention that you have tried quite a few different growing methods and outlooks. So I guess walk us through that journey. What have you kind of experimented with along the ways getting started, and how has that been? Like, which ones were working out for you and which ones really didn't?
So, man, like everybody else, when I first started out, I just kind of see what everybody does online, and tried it from topping and just kind of picking all the leaves off, picking the flowers off, going synthetic, and going living soil, and I pretty much tried it all. But what works for me here, since our state, the weather is so unpredictable, man. In the summer, sometime we go for weeks at a time in the triple digits. So growing in our soil here, it's red clay, so it's terrible. So I mainly just grow in pots, usually from anywhere from 5 to 15 gallon is the biggest, and I just go all organic and live in soil. I just find that's the best way to go. It seems like the plant takes up, and at the beginning they don't they kind of take a little time to establish, but once they get going, man, the monster sizes of these things are ridiculous.
Yep.
So that's what has been working for me, and I just been using that, and I just been giving them pretty much fish hydrolysate and all the. I usually cut my grass and I just dump it in a bucket, and I just let it rot over time and water them with that, and it seems to does the trick. So I don't really do too much to them besides fertilizing once a week. That's about it.
Yeah. No, and I mean that's a perfect point and testament to, and I've mentioned this before as well. So much like you were saying, a lot of us kind of start out and we try just about anything and everything. So
Yeah.
we're looking at this person over here and that person over here, and so et cetera, et cetera, and then finally we find what works for us. And I started trying to do some very similar avenues. I was like, all right, I'm going to switch to all organic. And then I was like, all right, so what can I do from here? And then I educated myself on the compost tea, and how do I actually make the soil better health quality, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, I mean, the major thing that most people I've noticed struggle with is whenever they switch from synthetic over to the organic route, is they're used to that quick pop that they get from the
Yeah,
synthetics.
you're exactly on that point. Since with the synthetic, man, that you just giving it all you just giving all the food they can handle. So with the organic, you got to kind of wait to feed the bacteria first, and then they slowly feed the plant instead of just feeding the plant itself. So that it's a struggle at the beginning. You kind of get, man, am I going to see something? But just give it time; it'll pay off for sure. But I mean, I've
Absolutely.
I've had, and then it seems to me like those plant with the organic stuff, they seem to have less of like a sick problem. They don't get too much sickness going with them. That's just personal for me, but I don't know if anybody else experiences that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and even whenever that does kind of come into play and in effect, just from what my own personal experience has been as well, is like the times that pests and stuff do seem to attack them,
Yeah,
it's almost as if the plants are crying out to the beneficial insects already, because the next thing you know, I'm like, I notice it and I'm like, do I do something? Do I not do something? So then I'll like spray down the plants, whatever. I'll just try to take the most minimalistic route possible. And then it's like 2, 3 days later, there's ladybugs all over the place and ladybug larvae
exactly,
and et cetera.
exactly. Yeah,
And it's a beautiful
and the
thing.
thing is, this year. Yeah, this year it's. I mean, since I started this year, I don't know if it's this place or what. I just haven't had to spray anything on my plant yet, and there's the, minor, just a few aphid here and there, but overall, like nothing there I need to be spraying or picking them off. So that's one thing that saves me a lot of time on the other hands too.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely, absolutely the case. And you had mentioned the taking the clippings and using that to kind of let it do its thing in the water. Are you
Yeah.
using the like natural rainwater, or are you using the
Yeah,
this?
yeah. I set up like a rain catcher system so that my whole system it'll collect about 1,000 gallon to use. So I'll use that, and then the grass I don't really spray my yard, so that I know there's not any pesticide in it. So the grass and stuff I'll put it in the water and just kind of let it sit for at least a couple of weeks and just use that water and mix with the rainwater and kind of dilute it and just give it to them like as a feed. So
Yeah,
that seems to work pretty good. And, no cost and low maintenance, man.
Absolutely. So I've looked into that. I've tried it on a small scale, but never implemented it in a big turnaround. But it is definitely one of those methods that, as you're saying, very low to basically no cost, depending if you already have materials on hand to be able to
Right.
hold that.
Yeah.
And it's also one of those that it seems to be everything from what I was reading and everyone that I've talked to about this. It actually concentrates as you're using it. So like the more you add to it, it just
Right.
continues to concentrate. So
Yeah.
it's a beautiful
The,
process.
yeah. So the only thing that's concerning if you got little kids or your house is a little closed, I might put it a little bit further away from the house if that because that stuff is kind of bring the neighbor over sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they just leave it on the side of the neighbor, the fence with a neighbor that you don't really
There
care
you go.
for. Yeah. Oh, okay, okay. So now I know you grow, like you said, quite a few peppers and quite a few varieties. As you've been growing, has there been a certain? So I guess hold on. Let me pause it right there because still with that same question, the internet is blowing up with your fried chicken pepper. And
Oh man.
I
Yeah.
feel like we have to talk on that before I get into this next
Yeah.
question. So let's talk about the fried
Okay.
chicken pepper.
Okay. So I mean, it's not my personal cars. So I've got the seed from one friend grower 2 years ago, and I grew it this season. I grew it out, man. I didn't think anything of it, and I took a picture one day. Like, man, this pepper just looked freaking ridiculous, man. It's just all the spikes and the so whatever. I don't know if I might have to send you one for you to review it. I tried
Okay.
a sliver of it. It's just a little bit too crazy for me to handle. And then ever since that picture, my inbox was just going nuts with the seed requests. So there, the first round, I had about 6 or 7 pot, and I'd send all the seed to those first ones that requested. And now we're just waiting on more. And I don't know if it's going to be enough to handle all the inbox requests for them.
Yeah. Well, and that's the crazy thing is I don't think I've seen a craze or demand for a pepper like this since
Yeah,
the
yeah,
lemon starburst
yeah.
rolled out. I mean, that was like the last time I've seen just the internet just explode like that in the communities.
Yeah,
So
it's. I mean, yeah, like you said, I just usually post picture. I didn't think anything of it until the point, like, oh man, this we might stumble on it something for next year for everybody to grow. So hopefully, we'll see some variants of it next season. So since everybody made some requests on it, I started crossing that gene with some other pepper from my grows, and I got a few to take. So we'll see next season. We might have some crazier looking ones.
okay,
So and
okay.
I crossed that with the Trinidad Moruga, the red one, and then I crossed that with the J Pink Ghost. So we'll see. There'll be some interesting one. I'm excited to grow next year.
Oh yeah. If it can retain those spikes and get the
That's what
crazy
I was
tail from
hoping
the Jace
for.
Peach
Yeah.
Ghost, that's going to be
Mm,
a gnarly, wild looking pod. So
yes.
That'll be interesting. Okay, well, now that we've scratched the surface on that, now back to what I was gonna say, which is, you've been growing peppers for quite a while. You've had, I'm sure, a handful of varieties that you've worked through. What do you do to like identify, or how do you, I should say, how do you identify the peppers that for sure that you want to go forward? Is it all solely based off your own preference, or are you selling pods to people? What does that look like?
No, you usually once with stuff I cross, I try not to sell it yet, so, unless is something I've sent it out to a few friends to help grow and see what they get, but for the most stuff that I've crossed, I try not to sell them yet.
Yeah.
And I mainly just cross for versatility. Like I mainly not I haven't ventured into crossing Superhot because I don't use it too much. So usually just Thai pepper and then like frutescent variety that I use a lot. I'll cross those and see what I get. I got a few of those this year, but they're good eating pepper. But like you're looking into like heat and hot wise, yeah, it's probably not the goal.
Okay. Well, I mean, that kind of goes into what I was going to ask next, which is obviously you said that you were taking a smaller sliver of the fried chicken pepper, for lack of a better word, but your overall preference, is there a certain heat threshold you like to stay around? Is there a certain pepper that's absolutely your go-to favorite?
My go-to favorite is like a Thai heat level because I cook a lot and I probably go out there and pick a fresh one to eat with every meal. So about like a white Thai heat level would be good for every meal. And I try to try at least one pepper each variety I grow, and some of them probably hottest for me. It's anything over JP's goes. It's getting up there for me. I can handle it, but man, after the aftermath, and I kind of don't enjoy it too much anymore. At first you get that rush, but afterwards, like man, I need to lay down for a little while.
Yeah. No, definitely. That can definitely creep up on you and cause some problems at times too. So, okay. No, that makes perfect sense. Hey, Jeff, I wanted to go ahead and ask, did you have questions coming in? Okay, cool. What we'll do is we'll grab some of those questions because I want to get some of those asked while we have a chance before we flip on over to the game. All right. So from Conjured Vapors Peppers, it says, what was the pod that sold the most seeds?
I would say that the fried chicken for sure. That's above, but so that's on the list for the people that's being sold. But the one that's being sold the most, I think right now it's I would say like the Japanese white eagle claw. It's like a white type variety. So a lot of people are using that because it's versatile. They can cook it and make sauce with it, and you don't have to even wait for the pot to turn fully colored. They taste pretty good. Turning from white to orange as well. Like some of the other pots, you gotta wait a little while for it to ripe to taste good.
Okay.
So
Very nice.
I would say that.
And I guess let's see here. We got the next one from Kang. What's your favorite pepper variety this year? And is it the fried chicken?
My favorite this year, I gotta say it's a Sri Lanka pepper that the pepper guru sent me. It's not a super hot, but man, it just tastes so good. It's it's not too hot, but it has like this. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a freshness to it. You can just take a bite out of it and use it for cooking and anything. Fried chicken, so like I said, I don't eat too much super hot, but like the look of it, I would probably say that's probably one of the best looking pepper this year for sure.
Okay. The Sri Lankan pepper, is that one? So the one that I'm thinking of, it looks kind of like almost like a green bean in the length and
No,
diameter.
no, this it's kind that's the thunder longhorn. The Sri Lanka pepper, it's It's probably about a third of the size, but in lengthwise, but it's a little bigger in parts. But
Okay.
yeah, Rick Blood from the Pepper Guru sent me that a few years ago, and then, you know he mentioned a lot of good things about it, so I decided to try, and man, he just didn't disappoint.
Okay. Okay. There we go. Liking the sound of that. And
Yeah,
then
if
it looks like we have a two-part question here, so we'll get that first
sure.
one pulled up. So once again, from Conjured Vapors Peppers, those fried chickens were gorgeous, and your eggs and your eggs shall grow. Which worked the best for you?
So the eggshell grow like I usually grow a sangria pepper in that. I don't know if Sang mentioned sangria pepper a few times, so I decided to try it on my very first one. The plant itself, it doesn't grow very big, so it's like the almost the perfect size to grow in something small, like, like those mini cactus container.
Yeah.
This will be the perfect pepper to grow in it, and it will still give plenty of pop for being in such a small space. That I've tried a couple of variegated variety in that. They don't seem to do very well. Those variegated variety, they tend to grow a little bit bigger, and by the time they start flowering, the roots started cracking from the shell. So I had to kind of saved it. But yeah, the Sangria, I would say the probably the best one to grow. I can probably keep a full size Sangria in that for 6 months, and it can still grow and give out pots for a couple times.
And that's pretty cool. Absolutely cool.
Yeah. It just takes so much time to take care of it, because you gotta water it, and I usually water it with the little syringe, because the opening is so small. I have to sit there and kind of drip by drip, so it'll take like 5 minutes just to water it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can definitely see that being a problem. Okay, well, hey, let's go ahead and get on over to Keep Five, Cut Five. It's a very fun game geared towards you. So here we go.
Sure.
All right, so here we go. This is Keep Five, Cut
Oh
Five.
man.
There's 10 items on the board. I will read them out to you real quick. That way you have a clear idea of what's there. However, the game is alternating, so you can either start with a keep or a cut, but you just alternate the whole way through. So up
Okay.
first, yeah, of course, we had to put fried chicken on here. That's there, and then we have
let, let,
this is just to represent all Thai varieties, so just a Thai pepper.
okay. Okay.
And then number 3 is a Scotch bonnet. And then number 4, it just represents ahis in general.
Okay.
Number 5 is a jalapeno. Number 6, Kangstar Lemon Starburst.
You gotta have that.
And then a chocolate dougla. And then this is a brain strain. And then this is just to represent Nagas in general. So ghost, Naga. And then bubblegum varieties. So we're going to be, this doesn't mean that you absolutely hate them. It doesn't mean that you absolutely only want those 5. It's just who wins this game here today. 5 are going to win, 5 are going to lose. No hard feelings, but let's go ahead and, do you want to keep or cut first?
I'll do the keep first.
Okay.
So number one for sure will be the tie.
Okay.
That's
Let's,
that's a keep.
number 2
And
is going to
then
be a keep.
right, and then the ahi variety for sure, because man, those South American pepper, there's a lot of them that's really good. Like the ahi chinchi amarillo that the pepper guru sent me as well. Those
Yeah.
are great flavor. It's just so fruity. You wouldn't, if somebody blindfolded you and handed it to you, you wouldn't think you're eating a pepper for sure.
Okay. Okay. So that one's going to be a keep as well. So
That
number 4.
yes, number
All right.
4.
And then we'll get 2 cuts real quick. So which 2 do you want to remove?
Number 7
Number
for sure.
7. Okay.
I've had one of those bootleg before, and I actually did a video review on it. Man, it just hurt me for a while, and I did nothing but start cussing in that video, pretty much.
It's one that normally gets a lot of people, so don't feel like
Oh,
you're alone on that one.
that one, and I would say number 9, the ghost pepper.
Okay.
I like ghost pepper. The only reason, like I picked it because it seems like everybody that's growing super hot grows ghost pepper. So I
Yep.
like to grow something that's unique. Not a lot of people grow, so I try to stay away from like jalapenos and ghost pepper and reaper and that kind of sort of things.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Okay. So do you want to keep or cut next?
We'll do another keep.
All right.
So we'll keep number 6, the lemon starburst for sure.
All right. Solid
That's
choice
a good
there.
pepper. Yeah. And then we'll do a cut now. Let's
Okay.
do a cut on the jalapenos.
All right. Jalapeno, you're out of
I
here.
I like jalapeno. It's just in that range where it's not hot enough for me. Yeah, but there's other different variety, but it just doesn't have that heat and flavor for me.
Yep. Absolutely.
Uh, and then we'll do a keeper. So
Okay.
we gotta keep the fried chicken, man. We gotta
There
keep
we
it going
go.
next year.
There we go. Keeping the
So
fried chicken. I like it.
we gotta keep that. And then we'll do another keeper. This be the last keeper, I guess. We'll have to keep the Scotch bonnet.
Okay.
Great flavor pepper.
Number 3 remains. So the brain strain and the bubble gum, any personal preference on why they were cut or?
Brain strain. I grew before. I like the shape and overall. I didn't like the flavor. To me, I found it. I don't know if everybody knows the same thing. It's a little bitter for me. I don't know if you have ever had one or get that note from them or not. That and then bubblegum. I think I've probably gone a handful, and it seems like every time I grow them, I've never gotten a picture perfect what you have on there.
Yeah.
It could be my C source, but yeah, I just never had a really good looking one like that, so I just stopped trying with them.
Yeah. No, and so from my own personal experience, I've had the majority of times when I try to grow a bubblegum variety, they flower like crazy, but pods
Right,
that actually
right.
come through are very minimal. It's not quite as heavy of a yielder as it tries to act like, right? And all the flowers just
Yeah,
kick
yeah,
out real strong.
you're 100% right on that.
So, okay. Well, that was Keep 5, Cut 5. I mean, it's a pretty fun game. What did you think?
Hey man, this is a great show. I am very glad you gave me the opportunity to be on your show.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
thank
no,
you.
definitely. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, hey, this is the part where I like to do a nugget of knowledge. So, being that you're, absolutely crushing it in the growing space, we'll do a nugget of knowledge geared towards individuals that are, starting out, or maybe they're just struggling right now to get going and find out like how they can be able to manage to maintain their grow. So anything that would really be a nugget towards them.
So I mean, for this year, like one thing that definitely saved me a lot of time and that made my plant look a lot better this year. It's a drip system. At my old place for 3 years, I just usually hand water, man. It would take me 2 3 hours a day to water all the plants, and they didn't they look pretty good, but compared to this year, and the time it saved me, and what it didn't took me long at all to set one up, and as soon as I set it up, I just go from there. And every time I water, I just add a little bit to the reservoir, and you don't have to worry about how much or hey, Monday I gotta get out there and start fertilizing. I just kind of set it up on my phone now, and just kind of take care of itself. So
Very
that's
nice.
that's if you're growing, a few like more than 20 plant, the drip system is the way to go. And then another thing is living soil. You gotta have that to with any grow. I think that's the best for me. That over the years, it's a little bit pricey to start up, but you can reuse that stuff over the year. You just keep adding more good stuff to it, man. It's just it'll pay for itself.
Absolutely. Very well said. And greatly appreciate that nugget of knowledge. And I know everyone else will as well. Hey, this is where, like, you got nominated on the hot seat. This is your chance to now put somebody else on the hot seat. So who do you think would be a great guest to have on the show?
I mean, if I had to pick anybody, you gotta get in contact with the Rich Blood from the Pepper Guru. He's probably one of the main grower and a good friend of mine. That he taught me a lot of things, and his knowledge is just so it's crazy the thing this guy grow, man. Like, who do you know that need a 6 foot ladder to harvest their peppers?
That is pretty
So
wild.
yeah, so I mean, it's just ridiculous the amount of stuff he grow. And another crazy grower, if I may add, it's Brian Hamilton. He's
Okay.
he's up there with Rich Blood as well. He grows some crazy monster.
All right. Well, Rich and Brian, I will be in contact with y'all soon to figure out a time to get y'all on the show and have y'all, continue to educate the overall community on growing. So, hey, now's the part where you get to let everyone know where they can find you, how they can find you. This also benefits those that are just audio listening on Apple Podcast.
You can usually find me on Facebook. My Facebook is my first name, which is NHAN.HA, and my HA is my last name. And usually you should be able to see my profile picture that like you got on there. And if you're interested in my seeds, they're on my Etsy shop, and the link should be on my Facebook as well. Or if you need to search for it on Etsy, it's the Hot Pepper Seed Shop, and there should be quite a few for variety up there already. From anything from mild to wild, anything you like to grow, I probably have it up there for you to try.
All right, there we go. Man, it has been an amazing time getting to know you, really being able to understand your perspective on growing, your outlook on, everything with hot peppers, with fruit trees, all the above. Honestly, we only got to scratch the surface. So, would love to have you back on and dive in a little bit deeper. So it's been an honor having you on, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Likewise, I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you guys for all the listeners.
Thank you. All right. Well, hey, man, Swear Nation, I am so thankful for all of y'all for being here live in the chat, having fun, making this whole experience what it is. And man, really couldn't do this without y'all. And, we had 3 amazing salsas on Hot or Not tonight. I'll have all those linked down below. So if you're looking for Vatos Blancos salsa, or Tio Marcos salsa, all that is right there. Like I said, they have other amazing products for you to check out as well. And hey, salsa episode, you have to get some. It's tasty. You won't regret it. Thank you again to Mr. HaHa. It was amazing meeting you and having you on the show. And hey, continue to share this with other like-minded chili heads. Let's continue to grow the channel here on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast, man, I greatly appreciate y'all too and everything that y'all do. If you're trying to grow your brand, start your brand, launch your brand, you've hit a roadblock and you're trying to figure out how to get out of it and continue on making high quality stuff, highly recommend checking out podvision.io for that. And now you can easily reach out to me as well as your point of contact for everything Podvision. So, hey, episode number 41 is in the books. I'm Brandon Swear. And from everything from the world to hot, this has been The Swear Word.